Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Do yourself a favor. Take both hands off the wheel and touch the stereo. Do you feel the power? Ah, yes, friend, there's a lot of evil in the world, but there is also light. And I have been sent to shine a light on all degenerates, philanderers, liberals, and other evildoers and expose them for what they really are. Don't waste your money on unnecessary and corrupting material possessions. Give it to me. There's only one thing that will save you, a highly fortified structure in the shape of the most powerful thing on the planet, me. Degenerates will ruin this great city. In my wonderful book, I tell of the impending disaster about to befall this planet, nuclear holocaust, plagues of flying rodents, the seas rising up and turning yellow. It is coming. It is written by me, but you can save yourself. Contribute to the Pastor Richard Salvation Statue Fund. Pick up your telephone. Call now. 1-866-9-SAVE-ME.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 502, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. Oh, it's me, it's Matt, and I'm pumped for the show today. And with me, as always, and also, as always, pumped for the show, it's the Light Bearer, the Light Bringer, the Light Bearer, Bringer, the Beastmaster, Third Shift. It's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was, how it's been, what he's doing right now, what's going on in the house. He's going to tell us all that stuff. So, hey, Eric, regale us with all your happenings and all your abilities and all your things. Do it.
Well, it's been a whole damn week. It's been a lot of fun, been a lot of craziness, work. I've been collecting cans for the kids, for the people. And you know what? Here's the thing. I was thinking about it. I was talking to the wife about it, and I was like, does this count? Does this count? All right. So I work for this place where I had to go collect non-perishable food goods. All right. I had to help the hungry, to help the needy. And I did this, and I was carrying all this heavy weight, man, just heavy weight all day long, over and over and over and over again. It was a long, long day, and I helped those hungry. And I said, I did a good deed. But then I thought about it, and I said, did I, though? Does it count in Jesus' eyes, Matt? Because I was forced to do the good deed.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done it otherwise. You wouldn't have done it.
I didn't do this good deed because I was like, hey, I want to do the good deed. I got paid and was told to go do the good deed. So does this good deed count in the book of Jesus?
Clearly not.
Do I get a brownie?
No.
Or is this no brownie?
Jesus knows what's in your heart, Eric. Come on now.
But I still did it.
That doesn't matter. He knows why you did it.
He knows I just did it because I need to get paid and I need a job.
I'm going to get yelled at if I don't do the thing.
But he created this world, man. He made it so I have to have a job to survive. So if I don't follow the rules of my boss, I don't get a job and I don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I followed the rules and I did the job and I helped the hungry. So I did what I was told and I did the good deed and I did the extra work that was involved with what normally wasn't the day.
This is the usual Eric. I'm trying to weasel really, really, really hard to get myself a cookie, even though I know I don't deserve one and I shouldn't get one.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
The rules.
The rules. I know how this is. I know how this works, Eric. I know how this works.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of rules involved, and we got to get this organized. Where's Jesus and God at it with these rules? I need to know. I don't know. I feel like I still deserve it, but at the same time, I wouldn't have done it otherwise. So, whatever. I guess whatever. Money is more important because Jesus decided money was more important in this world because we have to have money to eat.
If you remember, Jesus doesn't like money.
That's Jesus/God's fault.
Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Come on now. You know that.
Yeah,
come on now.
I know. Well, whatever. Anywho's, I guess I don't get points.
No points.
Whatever. I worked real hard and I didn't get no points. It's very sad. Very sad for me. So yeah, I did that. That was a busy weekend. However, even though I had a busy weekend, man, I did have a Monday off. And not only did I play video games throughout the week, but I went and saw a movie on that Monday off, and I went and saw Mortal Kombat 2, Matt. Woo! Gosh golly. It was good. What a fun time. If you have nostalgia for Mortal Kombat, this is it. They did it. They were like, you know what? No, we don't care if this is a movie that makes you feel something. We don't care about anything except for just you a Mortal Kombat fan or a Mortal Kombat nostalgia, whatever it is, you're just going to like this movie because we're going to have all sorts of fun shit in it. And it did exactly that. Had a ton of scenes straight from Mortal Kombat, battle scenes like the acid pits, the chains hanging and the acid inside, and you can go ahead and the whole shtick was there. The spike pit, that whole fighting scene. I won't spoil too much more, but I'll just say those two at least were there for sure. And you got all your favorite characters. Sonya Blade was there, Liu Kang, and all the rest. Jax and all of them. And of course, Johnny Cage. And I had such a good time with this. And of course, it's the movie mainly follows like Johnny Cage, and just him being who he is and how he comes to be in the tournament and what's going on and follows all that good stuff. So just a lot of fun. Had a great time with it. You're not going to come away, I did something. I had a feeling. Nope. You're going to come away going, God dang, that was a fun Mortal Kombat movie. And indeed it was. So glad I went and saw it because I was debating it. I really wanted to go see I was reincarnated as a slime, the movie. And I'll be honest, it would have trumped Mortal Kombat 2, but the sub showing was not pairing up with the time that just was good for me. The dub showing was, but what fool is going to go watch a dubbed Japanese anime? Nobody. Zero. Nobody. So Jim Fonda, I'm sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't say that. I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't even going to say a word.
Terrible person.
You're a bad person.
Oh my God, you guys you're doing great work over there. But
see, Jesus heard that. Jesus heard that too.
Yeah, well, Jesus hears a lot of things.
That's true.
I'm going to hell, man. It's a bad day.
That's true.
For me.
Yes,
that's okay though. You are too. So I'll see you there.
That's
We're going to be best
true.
friends.
Yes.
So, anyways, I had a great time. Went and saw the movie, and all it did though was it made me hungry. I was like, this was a lot of fun. I ordered some boneless buffalo wings. I watched the movie. Was not interrupted. Almost nobody in the theater. And I went, I want to go see another movie. I want to go do this again. So now I've just got this hunger to go to the theater again and go watch another movie. Thankfully for me, I've got the Star Wars Mandalorian movie coming up in another week or so. So, hey, even though I don't have high hopes for it because Star Wars and me have kind of fallen off a bit, I'm going to go see that one. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to go watch it and have some good times with it, especially since our newest theater, well, not newest theater, but Celebration Cinema, they threw out the IMAX theater and they put in the XL theater, which apparently is just the IMAX, but on crack. So it's just even crisper, and then the sound has been even improved even more or whatever. I thought they were trying to go for that 4D stuff where it was like wrapping around and everything. That's not the case. I went and did my little investigation and found out, no, it's just the newest like IMAX like adventure. It's just really, really cool and really crisp and clean. So I'm like, that's perfect. That's a movie I can go see that on and check it out and see what it's all about. So that's what I'm going to do. And of course, with that said, game-wise this week, I've only played Pragmata. I really haven't done much else. I keep looking at the other games I got to get to, but at the end of the day, I just click Pragmata and I go do a level or a section or area, and then I call it quits. So I'm still marching to that. I think the counter's got me at like 60% or so. So we're still there. Still a fun game. Still having a good time with it. It did it again. It introduced another baddie and another level of like interaction things you got to do, and I had a good time with it. I don't want to spoil it, but it was fun. And then of course I got into this next section where it's like, oh hey, this section we've got our box puzzle section. You got to learn to maneuver the boxes and do all the things. And you've seen this a million times in video games, but it is cool that like every level in this game seems to have like its thing. So you're like, oh, here's where you got to maneuver the heights and the levels of stuff and where things are. Here's the one with boxes that I'm just going in where you got to maneuver and push boxes in different directions. Here's the one, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm in that right now. And I was going to continue on that, but I got disrupted last night by something or rather, and so had to abort. But Pragmata, a really good game, having a good time. But I'm so close to the end of Saint Slayer, I really need to finish that up. So I think that's what I'll do next. So that way next week I can report to you about the ending and how that whole experience went. And with that, that's been the week. What about you, Mr. Matt?
As for me, I can't think of a single thing that I did on the real world front. I mean, there had to have been something, but I guess there wasn't. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I see nothing. Nothing worth reporting on, discussing. So it's just video game front times. And the first thing on the video game front, I also can't talk about because I got into the closed beta of 4Loop, which is that game for bad robot games where it's kind of you're in a squad and it's sort of roguelike-y, but you're going on missions, and then those missions lead on a map of like all these other missions you can go on. So if you all vote to go along the top path, you're going to go along with these certain encounters and abilities and stages that you're going through essentially. But if you go down the middle, it's these, and the bottom, it's this. It's a whole big like grid of like options you can choose. So you got to pre-plan. If you want to go down here to the treasure chest, well, you got to get your asses down there via the little line through the map essentially. And I looked at the NDA for it because they give us a big NDA, and I can't talk about my experiences with it at all. I can't say anything about it because it could damage the reputation of this and that and the other thing. So I'll just say there's another closed beta next weekend. I was told that, and I don't know if I can even say that, but there's another one. So if you're in the Discord and you want to try it out, there's some keys in there because I got like 3 friend keys to give out. So I put them in the Discord. If you're interested in it at all on Steam or on PS5, go check it out because you can check it out. It's free. It does absolutely nothing to hurt you to check something out. I won't talk about it, but I'll talk about it on the Patreon. Maybe. I mean, you guys wouldn't narc on me, right? You guys listening also right now for free wouldn't narc on me, right? You would. Never mind. I got to cut that. Okay, hang on. So I played that. Then I feel like I played a ton of games this week, but I also feel like I didn't play any games. But one thing I did do is PC Gamer, the magazine that I subscribe to, PC Gamer. I've talked about it before. They've got a little section in there of like games that the writers are still playing or older games that they're playing again or free games. There's a little thing, usually 3 separate free games. And I downloaded one of them, but I haven't played it yet. But then I played the other 2. One is called Glassy Stare, and it's free on Steam. And it's like a 20-minute kind of text adventure type of a thing in sort of like a weird Cthulhu type of a scenario. It's about a person who has a missing eye and he gets a glass eye, and then something bad happens. And it just has a funky atmosphere and like a dark feel to it. It feels like a little Cthulhu short story kind of. So it was good. Like I won't say it's a barn burner or anything, but if you want something different, you want a little short story in video game format, that's free that you don't have to spend a single buckaroo on. You can go check it out. You could do worse than this. I enjoyed it. It made me go, ooh, at certain points. So I went, yeah, there we go. You did it. That's what a Cthulhu story should do, is make you feel a little funky and then have a bad ending to it. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. But I mean, if you know Cthulhu stories, the bad things might happen. But it was good. You could tell it's like a Russian game or something, so it feels a little funky. But it's good to experience funky new things sometimes. And then the other funky new thing that I experienced was the other free game that they talked about, a little game called 15 Minutes. You can find it on itch.io. I should have looked up the game creator's name so you could find it easier. It kind of looks like an early PS1 game. Everybody has those weird, funky models and funky looks to them. It kind of has like a mouthwashing type of a look, like that kind of retro, funky look. And it's all about you're in school and you got 15 minutes until the moon hits the earth. So you got to complete your little bucket list. Because one of your other classmates is like, yeah, I'm typing up my bucket list right now. I got 15 minutes to do it. You look at your bucket list and you got 15 minutes to do those things. And I don't think you can like change the trajectory of the game or anything. It's kind of a point and click, and you kind of just experience the 15 minutes and you do the things in the order that they're on the list. But you got some dialogue choices here and there, and it has such a weird, funky feel to it. It's that graphical style that it's like grungy and dirty, but it's also, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like musically great or anything, but it made me feel some stuff. I was like, man, what would you do in this scenario? And like this guy's options, these are his options. This is what he's doing. I don't know. It's different. Another funky, weird thing. And the game's called 15 Minutes. I think it maybe takes like a half hour. Just another fun, weird, free experience. Go check that out. Something weird to play. And then, oh boy, 3 games that were phenomenal and great and had a ton of fun with. First up, I got back on the Twitch. I streamed People of Note. I had the most fun I've had in years, if not ever. That game is fucking great. It's awesome and it's fun and it's hilarious. There are so many musical puns everywhere in that game. And I said it before, like the last episode, I played 5 minutes of it to see if I wanted to stream it, and I laughed out loud 3 times. I laughed out loud more on stream playing People of Note in that 3-4 hours, whatever it was, than I ever have on stream in all the times I've ever played. Phenomenal game. Super fun. I mean, it's a fairly simple game when you get right down to it, but just the vibe, man. Just the vibe and the humor and just the fun and just the giggles and the tee-hees and the har-hars. Loved it. Can't wait to play it again. Another musical game that I played and beat was Mixtape. I played and beat that over the course of 2 nights. Had a really, really good time overall with that. I will say it started to lose me a little bit around the end for reasons, but I can go into that on like the what you playing. But I will say this gave me a really awesome like feeling and like retro moment in my head. I'll talk more about that on the what you playing also. But one piece of music that they picked in there, it did exactly what all the pieces of music throughout the game are supposed to do. That one hit me because it's one that I have experience with, and I thought back and I went, man, I've been listening to this song for X number of years, and the first time I heard it was when we were doing X, and that's like the whole theme of the game. Is there's a flashback, and you listen to the music and this. It was great. Really enjoyed it. I will say, like, not super indicative to my high school times, but there were a lot of moments in this game where I was like, yeah, I have been through that. Yep. The video store scene, I'll just say that, just video store scene, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, this is it. This is one of them moments. And boy, howdy, it sure was. A phenomenal game. And then I played a demo for a game I'm going to talk about as my release. So I played that too. You'll hear about it more later. Haha.
God bless, Matt. I was going to play Mixtape this week. Didn't get to it just because in real life, I've been working a lot of hours. So just been real busy, unfortunately. I'm hoping to this week, though. So on our What You Playing, hopefully we'll be able to both just go back and forth with what the hell is going on in that game, because I'm definitely going to play it. So hopefully then. But for now, Matt, I can't. So unfortunately, I'll have to just tell you about a game that I have played and I've had, quite a bit of fun with. Never beat, but had fun with. But here's a new one. It is called Subnautica 2, Matt. It's got early release May 14th hitting you. If you got all the monies in the fields and you want to get into it. And let me tell you, from first-hand experience, it is like returning to the mother's womb. Oh, this big squid here with a sharp beak. Oh, she will grab us and embrace us so heartily. This game is about you. Doesn't matter who. This you get put on this weird planet. It's got water, obviously, and you go underneath the water to explore and figure out what's going on in this fantastical world. Subnautica 2, of course, takes you to a whole new planet with all new creatures under the water, and you get to explore, and you get to set up an underground water base. You do all the things, but you will die, and you will die again and again and again, and you will be resurrected on the base over and over and over again, and your collective memory will be accrued so that the AI can then understand what the hell's going on this planet, what creatures live on this planet, where the minerals, where all the assets are, everything. Your whole job is to just explore, but resist the urge to go to the tree, apparently. And I don't know why you must resist the urge to go to this tree, but you must do so. And of course, so there's this whole mysterious, makeup here of this wonderful game. But if you don't know, it's just about you, the character. You go into this cool little sea pod, and then you just explore under the water. And you will go, analyze things. You will go collect things. You will, figure out what creatures are what and get them names and their habits and et cetera, et cetera. But of course, being underwater, it's super dangerous. So there will also be a lot of underwater life, plants and animals, creatures that are going to try to harm you. You have to try to survive as best you can to make sure you get the resources and things you need to go back and, further improve and or create the lab. And of course, further the knowledge base, et cetera, et cetera. This one is really cool, Matt, because for the first time ever, you can do multiplayer. So me and you can play together and explore the ocean. This a beautiful ocean, man. Me and you can do it. We could. We won't, because we don't play anything together. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. But if you have friends that want to do it, you can do this. So you can explore together, have tons of fun together. And I'll tell you what, if you like just gabbing and having a good time, just talking and just exploring stuff, and then one of you gets killed because you're off not together mining something or figuring something out, and then you come rushing over and get killed by the same thing, and or you're together and one of you, it doesn't matter. There is the possibility in this game to have so many fun stories and have such a great time just killing time and finding new things that I'm telling you what, If you've got friends and you play games together a lot, this is probably something you're going to want to do because it's really cool, a lot of fun, tons of things to find and do, lots of things that are going to try to kill you, and just fun situations are going to happen to you over and over. I can't really just tell you enough of just the randomness of it. It's really cool, really neat. I like the first one. Like I said, never beat it, fell off and ended up doing something else. But this one, if I still was young and had friends and we played together, I would for sure be buying this and getting it. But I'll tell you what, if you want a great game, developer Unknown Worlds Entertainment has put it out for you. Subnautica 2, an early release, May 14th. Right now, you can play it on Windows and Xbox if you have one of those. Not as we speak, but if you go buy it and get the little pre stuff, you can go buy it. Whatever. Go spend money. Go do it. Ha ha!
I'm just really glad that game actually came out because with all the weird drama that we talked about, like for a year, and then it came out that like the publisher was indeed trying to screw them out of everything, and then they were forced to put the actual developers back in charge, and they immediately went, let's make it early access right now. Boom, like we wanted to forever. I'm glad that it seems, like we always say, who knows what's actually real and what's actually the narrative, but it seems like the good guys may have won out on this one, and now you have the chance to support them with money dollars on the early access version. So I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited for another early access game. We're both early access release boys this week. Oh my God. But mine actually came out on the 5th. So last week, it's Dead as Disco, developed and published by Brain Jar Games Incorporated for PC only right now. This launched into early access, and this is that rhythm and music-based beat-em-up style game. I said it. I'm on the musical kick. Mixtape, People a Note, Dead as Disco. I was hearing nothing but good stuff about Dead as Disco, and I went, okay, well, it's early access. I'm not going to pay any attention to that. And then I was sitting here today going, well, what games came out recently? Oh, Dead as Disco came out. All right, I can't really find anything else I want to talk about, although I did find an indie game that could be my super backup if I needed it. I went, let me just watch somebody's review of it. And I was enraptured. I was in love with it immediately, because you play in this game as Charlie Disco, a guy who was a member of a big old band, and they were rocking and they were straight to the top, and then somehow, a way you don't remember, you died as Charlie Disco, and you've been revived now by death by this weird floating, like, bejeweled skull. He says, I brought you back, one soul for one night. Here we go. And it's 10 years later. You don't know what's happened, but all your bandmates have split up. They've all joined up with this weird-ass corporation in this cyberpunk future that you're living in, and they've all sold out. Oh, my God. And you got to go find them, find out what's going on, and probably beat them up. But what's so cool about this game, and what everybody has already said and said to death in every video game outlet, magazine, everywhere, is that everything in this game happens to the beat. And it's a beat-em-up game. So when you hit the buttons, your attacks will come out to the beat. But if you hit them on the beat yourself, like a rhythmic man, like a rhythmic human, they look so much flashier and so much cooler. I played the demo for this just before we got on the show, because I went, well, there is a demo. Let me check it out. What's in the demo is a very abbreviated section of one-person stage, which gives you that, it like whets your appetite. You're like, oh man, I can't wait to fight more enemies and fight this boss. Join us in the main game, join us in early access. But it also has I think it's called infinite mode, which in the demo, it's not infinite, but you get to play all of these songs in like a big old brawl session. Like enemies warp in waves, you fight them in the different waves. As the waves go, it gets harder and harder. But you get to play those songs and listen to the beats and fight to the song. And everybody's already said it. Like I said, everybody says this feels awesome. I can tell you, it does feel awesome. Like you can still just hammer like a goon and you'll get there. Your attacks will be to the beat, but it doesn't feel punchy. But when you're on the beat, it feels like And like I said, the attacks are flashier. It just feels good. It feels awesome. It feels really cool. In the early access version of it, you have 4 bosses that you can go through their whole stages and then a big boss fight with them. I've heard the boss fights are pretty tough. So if you're not good at this game, it can be frustrating to do those stages again and again, or, see the boss intro cutscenes again and again. But what really drew my eye in watching a couple of reviews of this was the transitions from boss phases or like into the boss encounter. The camera angles are shifting and zooming up, and it's super like anime, kind of over the top. Like they're doing crazy big stuff. Like one of them is like this big giant, kind of like a Vocaloid type of person. So she's got a big giant anime version of herself. She's throwing down blasts on the floor that you got to dodge and all this other stuff. There's another guy who's got like a skull in a jar and a big old mohawk, and he's got the big old friggin' guitar he's swinging at you. Everything's over the top. Everything's crazy. Like I said, the transitions between the phases are really cinematic and fun. There's a lot of, not anime style, but like cartoon, comic book, anime style cutscenes in and out of sections of the stages. And then on top of that, you can go back to like your home base bar, where if you beat the bosses, they'll show up in the bar and they'll give you side quests to do in their stages. So you can go back to the stages to do side quests for them, to progress their story a little bit more, to get yourself some upgrades in a skill tree and do all that other stuff. Plus, there's that infinite mode there on top of that. Plus, you can also, if you don't like the music that's in this game, import your own music and beat people up to your beats or whatever beats you really want to listen to. Maybe you don't like the K-pop kind of inspired Vocaloid lady. Whoa, man, pull in a hip-hop track, pull in a rock and roll track, pull in a metal track, who knows? And then your actions will be to the beats of your song. This game is stylish, it's fun, it's cool. Go watch a trailer. If you like what you see, you'll know if this is for you or not. Sadly, it won't be for Eric because you got to punch people to the beat. I mean, you don't have to, but it won't look as fun and it won't be as cool. But this was like for me. I was watching it and I went, man. And then I saw the demo and I went, ooh. And then I played the demo and I went, ugh. So this might be the first ever early access game I ever do, just because it's a lot of fun. And especially if that infinite mode, you can actually make a playlist of all the songs and just keep looping. Because in the demo, you can play one run through the song and then you're done in that infinite mode. But if you can like make a playlist and just sit there beating up people to all these musics and all these beats and just keep rolling like an Arkham Asylum kind of combat challenge, oh boy, this made me so happy. I also went on the devs website to see their roadmap that they listed out. They have, I think, at least 3 more bosses with full stages planned sometime in the main game, which they said is coming out sometime like 1.0 main game, probably sometime next year. But people are saying they love what's here right now. It's, I think, $25 base with, the 20% off Steam launch sale. So it's $20 right now for a really cool, stylish, rhythmic beat 'em up, and you can customize it. You can listen to your own beats. Like I said, that's so cool and so awesome. It's flashy, it's fun. I really love the demo. I might have to get this. I wish it was like on Game Pass so I could like sneakily get it, but I don't think it is. It's on PC though. Go check it out. My poor PC, it's going to overheat. It's going to have a sad time, but I'm not going to have a sad time with Dead as Disco.
Now, it's funny you mentioned it ain't for Eric, because overall it's not going to be, but I did watch it get played by a streamer, and I was getting turned off a little bit because the skull guy you mentioned, it was a rock beat, but it was an old school rock beat, and it was kind of boring. I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't vibing with me. I was like, okay, this is an old rock beat, and, old rock is old rock. There's a couple songs I like, but I was like, seems a little slow. And then he beat that dude, and then did the talking to him, and then he went to this other chick who's exactly what you just said, the K-pop chick. And then I went, oh my God, my mind was blown. That battle was insane, and it was epic, and it was so cool. And the transitions from her different modes and how she's talking to you and interacting with you, and then just the things you had to do. There's like these sniper chicks, and you had to get rid of them really, really quick because they would teleport and they would regain health when they did that, and they were just a nuisance. So you're having to prioritize certain baddies, but of course at the same time, the main chick, she's still trying to womp on you and in different variations, because like you said, in one mode, she's just blasting these waves at you, and it's telegraphed, so you can get out of the way, no big deal. But then in another mode, she's down there just teleporting in, trying to, slash you and cut you and do this and that. Then another, it was really cool. And I was like, damn, I want to play this. This is awesome. Like this fight right here, I will play this. And it's just like you said, you can go to the beat, but you don't have to. You can go off beat, and you're still hitting baddies, you're still doing the things. But when you hit the beat, instead of just doing a little chop, you'll do this big pimp slap, pow, and it just ups the game and makes you laugh, and it's a good time. So I definitely was impressed by it, but like you said, I have a hard time with the beat games, and I don't want to be an idiot schlub just having to basically hard mode through it the whole time.
The one thing I will say that I did notice in the demo is you have a little charge bar up above your head and like right underneath your health bar. And it kind of lets you like pull out your drumsticks, because I guess he's the drummer, and you can kind of use this charge attack, and it goes like wails on the enemy like that. And usually if you hit him a few times, or most enemies, you can trigger a finisher. But you're going he does it to the beat, so the finisher button will pop up. You hit that, and it kind of just rolls straight into it. So like if you're not good at beats, at least that that's going to help you. And you can put the timeline on the bottom. You can put beat icons on the bottom too. Like there's all kinds of tutorial stuff for people. But I thought that was like really helpful because even in some of the, when I'm starting some of those tracks, I'm like, well, I'm sort of to the beat, but I'm not getting it right yet. But if you use his special attack that kind of refills as you beat up enemies, it puts you right there and it naturally leads you into that finisher. And you're just like, yeah, I'm a god. I'm cool. Even though I didn't really know what I was doing, I look real cool right now.
Yeah, the other part that I think was going to throw me off was, and it looked cool if you do it all right, is there's button prompts for like parries, counters, etc.
Yep.
So while you're hitting them, there's another bait will come at you and you can counter or whatever, or parry, and if you hit it to the beat, like you said, you get even more better effects. But I think that's where that's going to throw me off because I'm just so instinctually programmed to just soon as the button hits, click.
Yeah.
But if you wait that nanosecond for the beat and then you hit, then you get the better results. So if you're all about it, it's there. It's just for me, I'm stupid. I'll mess it all up. So
even that though, it's so cool because from my demo experience, I'm just gonna get it. I don't care. I have to get it because it was so much fun. But like I saw that come up, and they have like the little collapsing circle around like the counter, and I'm like hit. My brain's like trying to stay on the beat while also watching it, and then his attacks are slow enough that it like puts you right there. I mean, it goes to the beat, but I don't know. It felt like he slowed down as I was doing it while I was watching. So he put himself and me right in the right spot. It was just wacky. I don't know. It felt so good. Felt so right. I don't know. It's cool. Everybody go check out the demo.
It was definitely cool.
Yeah.
Go check it out. For sure. That's definitely a checkout game. And if you can't buy it and you say, alas, I am poor and I must go on with whatever's free. Well, we got some games for you this week. Epic, everybody? We don't know. It's mystery games.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing their mystery game thing, which is always good because when they do the mystery game thing, it usually means you're getting some big titles. You're not just getting, whatever they grab, off the shelf and whatnot. So expect something really cool. And maybe you don't have it and you're going to get lucky, but I can't tell you what it is. But I can tell you that Amazon Free Games has a few games for you. And it's sexy minutes to extinction. It's an adult-only game, all right?
That's my kind of game. Hang on. Sign me up.
I know.
Amazon. Hello.
Yeah. Now, 60 minutes to extinction escape room. And in a nutshell, this is you got 60 minutes before all the bombs go off, the apocalypse happens, everything's over. And you got to try to stop it. So you're going to go through this escape room style thing, solving puzzles, doing the whole thing. And if you can do it, great. And if you can't, the world ends, everything goes bye-bye. That's the gist of this game. So if you want a really cool, fun, stressful time where the counter's just going tick-tock, 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 and you're trying to solve all these puzzles before the end of the world, go get this game. It's right there for you. You also get Lethal Honor, Order of the Apocalypse. And I looked that one up, but I think I forgot what it was. No, I guess. Hey, Apocalypse, man. Another game about the apocalypse. This brutal and punishing roguelite game is set in the obscure world ravaged by an apocalypse. Fight your way through relentless battles and experience a story told through the lens of an 80s adult superhero graphic novel.
Well, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's via Steam, everybody. And I'm looking at the pictures, and it's got that really cool Comic Zone thing going where when you hit people, it's like thud, bang, boom. So imagine that, and that's what you get. And, of course, there's lots of monsters and weird things going on and people in, like, weird futuristic silvery suits with blades and guns and knives. So if you want a weird, cool game, go check that one out. And last but not least, you got Survival, Fountain of Youth. And I looked that one up yesterday, but I don't remember what it's about. Survival, Fountain of Youth. Maybe Matt remembers.
I just looked it up right now while you were looking up the other one. It's a challenging single-player open-world survival game set on the Caribbean islands. Survive at a shipwrecked I did it too. A 16th century explorer.
What's wrong with us today?
Fucking perverts, dude.
I guess.
Survive as a shipwrecked 16th century explorer, craft tools and shelter, do the survival game thing. That's a Steve game. I can't play survival games.
Nope.
But I mean, I guess they do desert islands a lot, but like a Caribbean island, maybe you get some like bongos and congos, you know?
Mm-hmm. Coconuts, all that good stuff. Big old, not the, what is those, the lizards, the big lizards. They're not on the Caribbean. They're only on that Galapagos Island or whatever.
Oh, like the big turtles? Yeah, that'd be Galapagos.
No, the big old lizard that eats things.
Like Komodo dragons, like Pacific?
Yeah, the Komodo dragons, yeah.
I thought that was Pacific, though.
Yeah, they're not, that's what I said, they're not here.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
okay.
you know, we can just bend the rules a little bit and put them over there or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know, that'd be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, 3 cool games. Couple of them roguelites, couple of adventures, one survival. Have fun. Go get them.
And speaking of fun games to go get, if you got the Xbox Game Pass, go and play Outbound. This is a game where you're like in a little van and you go and set up like a sustainable town, an island or something. Kind of one of them town builder games, apparently, which doesn't look like, because it looks like it's just a van. You think you'd be outbound and driving around, but I don't think that's what that's about. Then you got Call of the Elder Gods, which is a sequel to Call of the Sea, which is kind of a Cthulhu-based game about a lady who's like lost her memories and trying to find something out or trying to find her husband. This is the sequel to that, but you don't need to have played the first one because this will drop in any info that you need. Like you can pick right at the beginning. Did you play Call of the Sea? No, I didn't because I'm a loser. Well, now we'll give you the hints and what you need to know to get going. I've heard this one's pretty good. Like you're puzzling and it's creepy, but it's not like a horror game or anything. It's mostly puzzles and trying to find stuff and figure things out. So if you want some adventure games, check out Call of the Elder Gods. And then today I saw on the Game Pass, because I put these other games in last night and I looked up today right before the show, I saw a game called Black Jacket. And I went, what's that? And it said to me, I'm a roguelite deck builder. And I went, yeah. And I went, what else can you have to tell me? And he said, I'm like Balatro, but with blackjack. And I went, sweet. And I will say the graphics in this one is like dirty. It's not like Balatro clean and fun. It looks kind of scrunchy and grungy. So a different spin on it. Roguelike deck builder, sign my ass up. It's free on the Game Pass. Go check all those out.
And that's your free games, folks. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you have a ton of fun with them. But let me tell you, there's a game that's been out for quite some time that maybe you have. And you'll get to experience some really cool new stuff for it because Phasmophobia just talked about, hey, via GameSpot, we have teamed up with the team at Remedy and Sam Lake, and we've brought Alan Wake into Phasmophobia. And so starting May 12th, so right now as we speak, if you have Phasmophobia, you can go play this new content. And what it is they took 4 of their maps, they reimagined them with all sorts of Alan Wake stuff. And Alan Wake himself will be inside of these 4 new maps talking and doing all sorts of shenanigans. And it's all written by Sam Lake. Okay, so this is legit, the real deal. And there's going to be all sorts of twisted stuff and enemy types and weapons from Alan Wake coming over to Phasmophobia to help, you survive. And of course, baddies to help kill you and murder you in all sorts of gruesome, bad ways. But what an event. I would have never seen this really coming. But there's a whole article on GameSpot you should go read if you like Phasmophobia or you like Alan Wake that just talks about how they were like, hey, we don't do this sort of thing really, but we thought this would be the perfect thing because it's Alan Wake and an outsider coming in and da-da-da-da-da, and the world about, just something unknown pushing in and trying to just stop you or kill you or hurt you or whatever. They thought it was a perfect collaboration. Apparently so did Remedy. So it's here. They did it. And I'm like, damn, I don't have Phasmophobia, and I don't really have an interest in doing that.
Yeah.
Because, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. I love watching like streamers play it sometimes when I'm chilling, but just not my thing because it's a friend game. But now I'm like, gosh, dang it. Are they going to have like a little like hidden nuggets here and there from the Alan Wake that are going to something I'd really love to see or know? Damn. So it's out there, folks. Nothing too big, but I just wanted to let everybody know if you love Alan Wake or Phasmophobia, you got a treat on your hands for the next 3 weeks. This event only is running for 3 weeks, and it's gone. So if you want to play it, we got to do it now. Otherwise, that's it.
I don't have Phasmophobia either. I don't have any interest in streamer games or nothing, so I've never even seen it. But man, you tell me Alan Wake coming into something with Alan Wake talking to me about stuff. Sold.
Mhm.
Man, maybe like bring Alan Wake into like a deck builder or something. Alan Wake in Inscription. Maybe I'll finally play that game because Alan Wake's in it.
I know. I should finish that game one of these days.
But you talked about something that's not a big deal, a little nugget. Hey, I'll say it. We just jumped on the Discord and I got a big old pop-up in my face that I barely could even close out. Discord and Xbox Game Pass are shaking hands a little bit. They're saying, hey, I'll give you some of this if you give me some of that. So if you're on the Game Pass and you have Discord, you can get a little drop of orbs, Discord orbs every month or whatever it is. You get discounts in the orb shop. You get some orb stuff. So you can get some cosmetics on Discord that nobody really cares about. I spent mine just because I'm doing all these dumb quests, and what else am I going to spend them on? I don't know.
You got cool stuff. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's dopey, but why not? But the reverse, I think, is actually pretty cool. So if you do spend money on the Discord and you're a Nitro member, you do get a little bit of snippet of Game Pass. I think they said it's 50 games you have access to via the Game Pass thanks to your Discord Nitro. So it's not like a full tier of Xbox Game Pass. I think they call it like a little starter version. But hey, it's more free games for you to play. Even if you don't like 49 of them, well, there's one more game that you're going to like, and you get to play it for free via a subscription you're already paying for if you're a Discord Nitro member. So, I mean, just a little bit of fun both ways. Link your accounts, give everybody your data, and then you get some free stuff for it. Why not? If you're already paying for one or both or the other or whatever, you get some bonuses. Why not? That's cool.
Yeah, why not? Everybody's got your information anyway. It's over. The game's up. The gig's up. Sorry, folks, if you didn't know. Just saying. Jeez. So via Push Square is a fun tidbit. Not that important at all, but I thought it was interesting. And I'll just go kind of what I said in the notes. And that is Pearl Abyss's Crimson Desert has been a massive success. Everybody knows this. It's already been talked about a million times. But guess what? Instead of last time via their, what was their last game? Wukong. That one sold mainly in Korea. All right. All the sales came from there. Some came from here and everywhere else, but it was like a huge hit over there. And they sold bajillions and bajillions of copies. And everyone's like, well, that's just because their country wanted to support them or whatever it was. Well, this time around, guess what? 94% of the sales were outside of Korea, and 81% of the sales are just from the US and Europe alone. So that just goes to show you that Pearl Abyss is actually making games that people want. So if you were hesitant and you were like, oh, well, that's just a thing. No, sir, no, ma'am. According to the new statistics, the Americans and Europeans are on board with what Pearl Abyss is putting out. And Crimson Desert, of course, is rocking and rolling and doing really well. So I just thought that was a fun thing to add in there for all those folks who are wondering if, Pearl Abyss has what it needs to succeed. It does. Apparently, we're loving that game and supporting it. And Matt's over here, he's doing research because he's like, I don't know if I trust that Wukong.
I knew that was wrong because Wukong is a Chinese game, not a Korean game.
Oh, was it the wrong one? Okay.
Yeah. So I was looking up, and the only thing listed on their Wikipedia is Black Desert Online, which has been around forever.
That's what it was. Black Desert. That's been around forever. Okay, so because the article was weird because it talked about Wukong, but it must have been saying that Chinese game got supported by the Chinese mainly, whereas, they wondered if the same thing would happen with Crimson Desert, and it didn't. It was supported by everybody, especially Americans and Europeans. So, yeah, that makes more sense because I was wondering, too, I was like, Wukong, I don't think that was them. But, of course, I was just panning through the article and whatnot, and I'm like, I guess, I don't know.
Well, now to be even more confused, I'm going to talk about another Korean development company studio with another small news bit, but it was one that I don't think I knew. Apparently, everybody else knew this, but I heard that Stellar Blade 2 should actually be revealed sometime in 2026. Now, when I originally wrote this, I wrote down it'll be coming out in 2026, and I reread the article, and I was very wrong about that. But I didn't know Stellar Blade 2 was in development. I knew they were working on their next game, but I didn't know Stellar Blade 2 was one of those games. Also, there's another game, I should have written it down. It's by Shift Up, who are the people who did Stellar Blade and Infinity Nikki. There's a new one they have out that's like even more boobs, like everywhere boobs kind of a game. So that's also going to be revealed sometime in 2026. But the other actual thing that's actually a piece of news that people might be excited about, this time they said Stellar Blade 2 is being published directly by Shift Up instead of through PlayStation. So there's a possibility, nothing's been said, no nothing, no whatever, that it might come to PC real early. It could go to Xbox maybe if Xbox wants to shell out the money for it. But it's not going to be a PlayStation walled garden type of a game because Shift Up's going to publish it themselves. Unless PlayStation spends money for like timed exclusivity. I don't know. But the doors were slightly open that it wasn't published by PlayStation. So anything could happen, question marks.
Yeah, that's one of those. I'm glad that they're doing it themselves, that it just opens up the door, like you said, for them to put it everywhere, do what they want with it. However, there's no way PlayStation's not going to put some money in and help them out because the first one was such a success.
Yeah.
They're not just going to be like, oh, yeah, just go off and do whatever you want. No, they want it still tied to PlayStation somehow. So there's going to be something there. I don't know if, like you said, exclusivity or whatever. I don't know how it's going to go, but PlayStation is not just going to let it walk away completely. They're going to get in somewhere.
Yeah, because, I mean, when you think of Stellar Blade, if you think of it, you think of PS5 launch window. This is a PS5 game, like we've talked about. Like, this looks and feels like a PS5 game, and it's stuck in your head. Even if you played it on PC, you think of the PS5. That's how it feels to me. That's a PS5 game. So Stellar Blade 2, oh yeah, it's an Xbox game. I agree. I don't think they're gonna, but the door's cracked open.
Mm-hmm.
It's ajar.
I'm just stellar. I'm just stellar happy, Matt, that they're making a second one. I can't wait. It didn't work out. It didn't work. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm happy about it too, though.
I am happy.
Hopefully it's stellar. I did it too.
Yeah, hopefully it's yeah, you did too. Both. Yeah, yours was better, but it still didn't land right. I will say this though: they had the actress, the model who they portrayed her as. She got back to the studio for more recordings and doing stuff.
Nice.
And I'll just say, she's gorgeous as all hell. So all the naysayers were like, body dysmorphia or whatever from the word. No. You look at her and it's her. So, no. People, she looks like that. So stop it. Just stop it. Get over it.
And the one thing I'll jump in with is I hope they make the story better this time. Like, I hope there's characters and people you care about. You don't just want to fight and then get to the end and go, okay, I did it. It's done. But that was a great game. I loved the first one. It needs a little more something to sink my teeth into. Not like in a weird pervert way. We've established that we're perverts today. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we already established that. But
I want some story.
And more costumes.
I want story and characters.
With my costumes.
And yeah, all kinds of different costumes too.
That would be great. And hopefully they do that. Because I do agree that at the end of the day, some of the characters are a little bit stiff. There wasn't too much to it. But I think they left it really like kind of on a really cool cliffhanger with this whole extraterrestrial thing happening and a lot of possibilities that could happen with baddies.
I still need to go back and watch that other ending because I didn't go back and ever do it.
A lot of sexy baddies. So it's been a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of fun possibilities. I miss Stellar Blade. And this is an off note before I get into the last bit of it, but I've been thinking about like 13 Sentinels for 3 days straight now. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why it's in my brain, but for whatever reason, 13 Sentinels has been like talking to me in my subconscious, but I don't have time to go back and do it again. I just don't.
While I was in that funk, I was Eric. For like 3 days, I was like, I'm just going to play Persona 5 Royal. I don't care.
You should have.
I pulled myself out of it, and I should have, but at the same time, I should not have, because I wouldn't be playing people a note right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know you'd have missed out, but man, I think just going back to Persona 5 Royal, I think that's the move. I think it's going to cure everything. Cancer, all of it.
Uh-huh.
But this last bit is not going to do any of that. In fact, it's just going to help make cancer grow faster on me. Because there's another article via Push Square, everybody, regarding the possible Dead Space 4. But one of the big time producers, one of the individuals who's been there, was like, hey, from EA, period, not a chance. And we already knew this. So it's not like I'm like, oh, this is new news or anything.
Why would they write about it then? Just stop it.
Because
everybody knows.
It was from a unique perspective. He was like, here's the reasons why. And it just came down to the same bullshit, man. Money. It didn't make enough money. In today's age and what we would need 5 million plus. And horror games typically do 2 to 4-ish, on average. And he was like, hey, a good metric is you always look at Resident Evil. What does the top chief ever make in horror games? And that's the highest is like 5 mil or 500. What was it? It's 500, I think, or whatever. So whatever. The top is Capcom and Resident Evil. And they're like, oh, and our games never made that. And it used to be 2.5 or whatever it was would be successful. But by today's standards, that just doesn't cut the mustard. And of course, with the remake, that didn't get anywhere close to the 5. So they were like, that's why they canceled them doing the Dead Space 2 remake. And then, of course, any possibility. But then another article popped up, and this one, and I can't remember where it came from, but it tied into this. And I was sitting there like, oh, crap, I forgot. And I'm like, so I was down. I'm like, I'm pissed off. I already knew it was never happening. But then I was like, but remember, EA is being bought by some kind of crazy, nasty corporation.
Mm-hmm. Big Saudi Arabia corporation.
Yeah, so some Saudi Arabia corporation. So they've got to put forward like $200 million or some crap like that, some high end number to make the deal happen in debt. And, and so they're looking to sell IPs. And I'm like, sell Dead Space to Bloober Team for, whatever price. Bloober Team just gave you Chronos, a very good game, very solid game. Yeah, you're not getting AAA graphics, the best of the best, but it was good. The movement felt perfect. Everything felt, the mood was freaking right. Sell it to Bloober Team, and Bloober Team can go ahead and push Dead Space forward. and then maybe work with God, I'm forgetting his name, the main dude that worked on. What, you remember his name?
Glenn Schofield, right?
Glenn Schofield. That's it. Yep. Maybe Glenn can come in and help you out at the Bloober team, and boom, you're rock and rolling with some new Dead Space. So it gave me like a smidget of hope. Like, man, EA's really got to make money. So there's no way they're not going to sell Dead Space, because they literally verbatim said there's no way they're touching Dead Space again. So of course they're going to sell it, because it means nothing to them anymore. So they can get money to cover this $20 million deposit basically they got to do to get on board with the Saudi Arabia company. I've got a good chance of it being sold to somebody, and maybe it'll be Bloober team, maybe it'll be somebody else, I don't know, but hopefully it ends up in hands that want to do something with it and take care of it. And that I just got to hope that EA doesn't just curmudgeonly hold on to it and let it just die for eternity.
Do you know how corporations work, Eric? All they do is curmudgeonly hold on to their garbage and their poop and their
But
crap.
they got to sell something, Matt. They've got to make a certain amount of money to get on board with this buyout.
I was going to say sell off like EA Rugby 2029 or whatever, but Saudis love the sports thing, so I don't know.
They got to sell off something that isn't going to piss the Saudi Arabia company off that they're going into. So they can't get rid of their big money makers, and they've said that Dead Space isn't making them any money, so that is one up maybe
It's
for the
BioWare. It's BioWare. It's just BioWare. It's just gonna be
BioWare's
BioWare
going
and all their
bye-bye.
stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. We know that. Yeah, Mass Effect's gone.
It would be great if they did that. I don't have a feeling they're not going to do that, just because Eric Luck, that would never work that
I know.
way. And B, corporations and dumb crap. They always do the thing that doesn't make sense. So you got to think, if they're never going to do it, that means they're definitely going to hold on to it, because it doesn't make any sense to not do it. But when you were talking about the Saudi stuff first, I was going to interrupt to say Saudis don't believe in space. They don't believe in plasma cutters. They couldn't do that under the Saudi leadership. But you had a different spin on it. Hopefully that happens. I just don't see something that makes sense and being good happening. Like they're going to keep it for like a super rainy day and just have it forever.
I hope not.
I'm not going to say some other Eric franchises that have been held on forever and then nobody's doing anything with. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on. You know.
It can't go on forever. Why do some people get everything they want in the world and some people get nothing? Why?
That's true.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Jesus knew where your heart was when you were picking up
I'm tired
those
of
17,
Jesus. You know what?
Those
Let him
17
come
drop
down and
boxes
face
of
me.
stuff. You got mad about that. You didn't say, hooray, I get to go do
I'm
it.
gonna beat that dude to the ground. I'm going to fight Jesus, and then he's going to give me what I want because he's a loser. I beat you up.
What's never a letdown? What's always here for you? In the shinies of your heart. It's Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. You remember last week's impossible question was, in the 2011 video game Bastion, from which group of people is Zulf an ambassador? That, of course, you guys, is the Aura. Now, this week's question, which is probably also impossible. Good luck, folks. Jacqueline Natia was the main antagonist in which iconic 1996 action platformer? I'm going to even get the score thing up, because I got faith in my buddy Eric. Look, I'm getting it ready.
1996 action platform. What was that name again?
Jacqueline Natia. If you get this, I know it's just going to be a wild ass guess.
It'll be a wild ass guess. All I'm doing is trying to think of a game that I played in 1996. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to think of 1996. Where was I? I think I was like, Mrs. Old's class? Was I in third grade? Fourth grade? Where was I? No, I was way past that, right? 1996. I was in the 8th grade or something. I don't remember.
Was I a zygote? I think I was an embryo at that point. Huh?
Was I?
Just rewrote my own history. Woohoo!
When did Ocarina of Time come out? That'll help me.
I have no idea.
I was like, what was that, 1999 or something?
This is in the 90s sometime.
Oh, I can't cheat, so I can't look this up. I can't look anything up.
I never played that one, so you're asking the wrong dude.
Well, how about Mario 64?
Well, now I don't know.
Remember when that was? What? When the goddamn 64 hit?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just remember it was 1998 or somewhere in that range. But I don't remember for sure. Or maybe it was 97, 98.
It was the high school times.
It was high school times, but it was earlier on because I remember I ended in 2001 on the PlayStation 2. That's when I went to the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
So 1996, I'd have been playing PlayStation 1 games. Okay, well, we gotta figure it out. So
I shouldn't have given you 10 fucking minutes. That was some bullshit, but you got it. Yeah, you
yeah.
got it.
Look at me go, man. You know, you just give me some time.
Just let Eric talk for 6 hours. He'll get to some games
that's
eventually.
Fair. These idiots, these nooblets, they get all week to give you an answer. You give me 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're telling me I'm a scrub. You know, that's not fair. Come on.
I get to talk directly to you and call you a scrub. I don't get to see those people. Plus, you know what? Maybe they clickety-clack like as soon as it gets out.
And they cheat, too. Who knows if they're cheating? I don't know. I'm not cheating. I'm sitting here staring right at you, just trying to think in my brain of anything it might be.
Well, if they're cheating, they're doing a really bad job of it because a lot of these answers are very wrong. But if you know the answer to that question, or if you have any other questions for us, comments, concerns, mailbag questions, just want to say hi, hit us up. Email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit up the Discord, the Patreon. Oh, hey, here's a Matt side tangent. I got yelled at by 2 different people because I said in our 500th episode that none of our friends and family listen to the show. And in the broader sense, that's true. But 2 family members of mine yelled at me and said they do listen to the show. So yes, I'm sorry. And one of them also just joined the Patreon. So thanks, Uncle John, for joining the Patreon. More money in my pocket. Woohoo! Good stuff for us, and you're helping keep the lights on, keep the show rolling. I'm running into Eric's stuff. So join up the Patreon like my family members who love the show, who listen all the time. And I love you guys. You're so cool. And then if you see me streaming, hit up a stream. I'm going to be having a great time streaming if I stream this weekend because I'm going to be playing People of Note and having a wonderful freaking time. There we go. That's the end of my segment.
There you go. And also, we do have like one friend who like tunes in here and there and once in a while.
That's true. I feel bad.
You know, a lot of kind of lies from us, I guess.
But in the grand scheme of things, we have so many friends and family.
We have so many friends and family, and like it's such a small percentage that do actually check us out or pay any attention to what the hell we're doing.
Yes.
So, you know, not a lie, just not a truth. Whatever you want it to be. But that's okay. You know what's also not true? Going over to Patreon and throwing money at us. You know, you can do that. You don't have to, but you can do it. It's a tip jar. You like what you hear, any kind of thing you want to throw in, it's appreciated, helps keep the lights on, pays the bills, keeps us rocking and rolling, debt-free, and we definitely appreciate the holy hell out of that. But if you don't have money, you can go support us by going over to Spotify with 5-star ratings, over to the Apple Podcast, 5-star ratings. That'll get us up in the metrics. People will see us, and we'll get more viewers, and it'll be so cool. You guys all know the rigmarole. You should anyway. But if you also don't want to do that because reasons, I guess, you can at least maybe, go to Twitch, watch Matt play some games, maybe give us your Amazon Prime free sub that you have for free every month. That's possible. You can also go over to the Discord, join that, and just have some fun conversations and partake in everything, or give us mailbag questions. A lot of ways to support us, and I recommend you do so because it helps us feed our egos, which then makes us keep doing the show because we're happy and feeling something. But we feel something anyway. But it would just make it better. I don't know. Make it better.
It would also make it better is you listening to the very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 21st of May on iTunes and Stitcher, on Poppy, and on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Indeed, we do appreciate it, just like we appreciate those 5-star reviews over on Apple Podcasts. Come on, folks. We're going into the summertime, and I want to be up in the stars. I want to be shining like that bright North Star is when the fireworks go off in July. And you can do that. You can put us there. All of a sudden, everyone listening, you could just go take 3 minutes, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. All of a sudden, boom, when they go, hey, video game podcast, we'd be like right up there. Boom. Just like that. Now all these schlubs who've never seen us will be like, I don't know, I'm bored. I'll click on it because I'm at a stupid job I hate and I need to waste 8 hours of my life. Click. And now all of a sudden, we go skyrocketing. You are the only ones that can make that happen. Me and Matt can't. We already both put our star in. It's over. So, you know what? You're the only ones who can do it. You don't ever do it, we'll never do it. But if you do it, there it is. Just saying. Trying to put the onus on you and not on me and Matt. Because it's a lot of hard work for me and Matt to figure out the other ways and metrics to make it work. So we just, relying on you the easy mode way. So there you go.
And with that, there's nothing else to say but. Don't forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.